Thank God I'm alive and I'm here to tell you the story and the truth. But a lot of my friends, a lot of people cannot tell the story.
We're not talking about it. How are children going to know? You know, they're only going to have available what's said from one side, and every story has two sides to it.
I just remember they didn't shoot that much at the nights. And especially during summer when there is moonlight, I used to go outside and lay down on the porch. And it was hot, the weather was beautiful. And I was thinking, like, I'm not sure I'm gonna live enough to grow up and have my own family, you know. We were so hopeless. Yeah. I was born in Sarajevo, which is the capital of the Bosnian Herzegovina.
Prije rata sam živio u Povuđu. Imao sam 2 brata, sestru i sa majkom i ocem. Živjeli smo na selu i radili smo poljoprivredu.
I was born in Sarajevo, which is the capital of the Bosnian Herzegovina. I was born in 1984 when the Winter Olympic Games held in my hometown, which I'm very proud of.
I was born in a city called Zvornik. That's my certificate city. And I lived there for my first 5 years.
My city, Sarajevo, is a very old city with a very rich history. It's a multicultural, multi-ethnic city and often called a little Jerusalem by the people who come from all around the world. We all lived together, different religions, with respect, with harmony, with peace.
6 republics and the 2 autonomous provinces of Yugoslavia. The republics, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia, Herzegovina.
We were friends, we were neighbors. We celebrated holidays together.
And Kosovo. They're both within Serbia, but independent provinces.
You don't expect from your neighbor to try to kill you, you know?
U Srebrenici vojska Republike Srpske ubila mi je oca i brata.
We didn't have any weapons, anything. We were attacked. It was a siege. It was aggression, planned aggression on our country by the Serbia. We didn't want this conflict. We didn't want this.
Gdje su puške?
Nisam ima puške, ja sam civil.
Civil. Dobro. Ste mnogo uplašili?
Kako se nešto plašiti?
I have to say that's probably the worst part of my life. Everything was related to just escaping, trying to survive, being attacked by, you know, all sorts of weapons.
As a child, I didn't understand what's going on. It was just the fear. And you understand that you are no longer safe, that something is going on that's
not good. You could see the fear in our parents' eyes.
Zadnje moje sjećanje na oca je bilo 11. jula.
A lot of fathers were killed. And you know how is that when every day you expect, is your father going to be killed, or not?
It was life or death. There was nothing else that you had time to think about. It's just, how do you get to the safe zone? How do you get to the area where you could sit down and just take a breath?
Imam sjećanje, znači vizualno i u mozgu. Ja znam kako je izgledao, ali je teško taj osjećaj kad svom sinu danas Bekiru ne mogu objasniti.
I was born in 2004 and I was named after my father's brother, my uncle Gradaščević, who was killed in Srebrenica. It was sort of a way of commemorating him and remembering him through me. And my father always tells me that I remind him a lot of his brother.
Ga se ja sjećam, odnosno sjećam se još mnogo toga, ali ne znam da li će to nekad doći vrijeme, neka prilika da ispričam ja moju priču inače osobno.
For many, it's a burden, and it is a burden. It's this burdensome thing that you carry with you, this memory and this idea that all of these people who would have loved you, who would have had the chance to shape who you are, who could have made you into a better person, will never be given the chance to hold you, will never be given the chance to love you, will never be given the chance to be a part of you and be a part of your life.
Unfortunately, this is why it happens again and again and again, because we're not sharing, we're not talking about it.
And that's why this is important for me, to come here and to speak.
We can't do anything about, in past what happened, but we could definitely do something in future and spread the word and talk about it and educate and be part of that history. Little by little, we all chip in. We'll create a book that would stay behind that our kids can learn from.
Being a Bosniak is actually who I am. It's a big part of me. And thankfully, I am someone who is in the community, who is creating activities and who invites people to come.
I remember being a very little kid and going to the cultural center and going into community events and stuff like that, and learning, both about like Islamic stuff, because it was largely a Sunday school, but also about cultural things, how to speak Bosnian, how to do things, and like how to our history and our past and all of that.
I hope we will have more opportunity to represent our culture here. Not because it's ours, but it's beautiful. Yeah.
It's more effective in general for me and for others to know that it's possible, despite the fact that there is horror stories, that you are able to succeed, you're able to live a healthy life.
Every experience ever since, every tear and every smile has been different. Graduating from college, getting married, having 2 children, these are all experiences that I have not had my most important loved one next to me to experience with me.
We survivors, we need to speak more, even if it's hard. This is not easy, but we need to find that strength in ourselves to speak out, because we don't want this to happen ever again to anyone else.
Because it's part of my job on this earth. It's part of my job as a Bosniak, part of my job as a member of humanity to ensure that those voices from the past, those voices of my relatives, my community, and my family aren't silenced. And if they're not here to speak for themselves, I have to speak for them, and I'll continue doing so until I breathe my last breath.
And if we who survived, if we don't speak, the truth won't be told. And some other people will tell lies. So we want to preserve that. We need to speak.
Il si toucha, il ti brani majka. Nit sam bolan, nit sam tužan. Sam drugu, već sam drugu.